Hello, my friends. Welcome again to another unexpected video of mine or stream of mine. I see that probably I'm the only one who is currently streaming, but maybe in time to come, people will join, or there will be more people that will be watching me live. It does not matter as much, to be honest. Recently, my streams are rather sporadic, and they are not. I'm not streaming often, usually due to many occasions and situations. But I see that I have here someone already joining. Hello, Vegetable Farm, Kimari. You are always catching me in the right moment. So thank you very much for being here with me and enjoy the stream. Um, I have realized in recent months, as the whole YouTube channel is old for a few years, that hi and young, that I am not getting too many new viewers, and channel is growing, of course, but I see that people that are usually watching my content, they are watching older videos of mine, uh, mostly about the Demonology series, where I was discussing the spirits of Lemegeton, Lesser Key of Solomon, and so there are so many videos going around about this, and some are better, some are worse. So these videos are quite old, and but still are quite popular, more popular than my recent streams. And usually I'm getting maybe around 900 or 1000 viewers per stream, which is maybe due to the type of the content, which become a little bit more metaphysical and not so catching or eye-catching. But also I moved a little bit in my magical practice and theory, so probably it's not so popular. Or maybe YouTube is algorithm is just preferring videos instead of streams. I don't know. Nevertheless, I think that also the reason why I'm a little bit sporadic with the new videos is that I do more practice than than actually streaming. And there are some moments in life when I'm thinking like, is there anything else that I want to discuss? Or if I have some topic that I want to discuss, uh, do I want to make it public? Not because that it's some sensational or something like that, but that it might be misused by some of the practices that would like to discuss are dangerous, I have to say. So this stream will be about it. It might be a little bit longer stream, so please bear with me, or later on you can rewatch it. I'm not sure how long it will take, but this is practically the continuation of the topic that I was discussing I think, 2 months ago, where I was speaking about German medieval magic grimoire called Magia Naturalis et Innaturalis, that is prescribed to very famous mythical figure of medieval times, but maybe the person was very highly probably living person, Dr. Johannes Faust. So if you haven't watched this previous video, it's not any problem. But maybe for your curiosity, maybe you can watch also the previous video. I will be creating a new practically folder for it on my YouTube channel that will be called Faustian Demonology. It's similar to Goetia or Lesser Key of Solomon or 72 demonic Solomonic spirits, but it's slightly different system. It's not the system of 72, but it's the system of 7, where Johannes Faust, a famous German magician in 16th century, was doing a lot of workings with so-called uh, demonic energies, or demonic dukes or archdevils, we can call them, attributed to specific planets of the system. So 7 planets, 7 spirits, 7 demonic spirits, and he wrote several grimoires, or these grimoires are attributed to him. Maybe they were written by his students later on. I'm discussing and speaking more about Faust figure in my previous video. This video will be more about actual work on this. And I consider his system more advanced, I have to say, that is Lemegeton, or you might know it as Lesser Key of Solomon, or many practitioners are practically working with the 72, and they are becoming the way how they are currently we work with them is a little bit different that they were worked with in previous centuries. But I consider Faustian system of magic more appealing to me, and that's why I plan to create a whole series that is not going to speak about invocation of the demons, but I am going to speak about a series of evocations of the demons from Faustian system. I don't claim that I have been able to evoke all 7, but I will speak about those that I worked with, and also for the rest, I will be using a lot of materials from other practitioners that actually tried it, or even they're making books about it, and so on. So just a small recapitulation. I will be mostly touching and speaking the material that can be found in this book, or I can maybe show it also here for those that would like to see it in the picture. It's Dr. Johannes Faust, Magia Naturalis et Innaturalis. Practically can be bought on Amazon without, I think, any difficulties. It's not only known Faustian grimoire. There are more Faustian grimoires that practically affected this book, but general understanding of those that work with this type of medieval system is that this is the main one. Practically, it might, when we consider this, that not all of the chapters here, but first 2 chapters are definitely might be attributed to Dr. Faust, Dr. Johannes Faust. In this book, he, or at least in these first 2 chapters, he described this working with these 7 archdevil spirits that practically are, each is owning legions of other spirits. And all of these 7 energies are considered extremely dangerous, hostile, but also quite powerful. I don't want to repeat myself all, but just at the beginning, I want to say to you that working with this system is dangerous. So this video is just for the scientific, or maybe not scientific, but for learning purposes. And those that have some curiosity about it, that are welcome to listen. But I would like to warn you to not try working with this book or the other books from Faustian Grimoire if you don't consider yourself quite advanced in evocation practice. It can be very dangerous. And I'm going to explain why. What evocation is, Yanis, specifically these ones. So we can call them goetic spirits, but what we understand under the question is, Yanis is asking what can be more dangerous. So, mm, well, recent practice understands working with spirits, or we call them now nicely spirits. Uh, don't call them demons, but I would call these energies demons in a negative term, in chthonic term. Uh, we work with them in the way of invocation. Invocation is different from evocation. Invocation is that you try to maybe focus on some kind of sigil. You would like to process this sigil as a form of gate through which you can, like gazing on the sigil, you can achieve slightly meditative trance state that might bring you some specific dreams, might affect mostly your dreaming, that you will be able to reach astral. For more advanced practitioners, they can reach astral in a moment where they are not sleeping. But usually this helps you to get in connection with this energy. Invocation is practically working. Some Jungians might say that it might be some sort of egregore archetype, or some magicians might say, yes, these are trans-empiric entities. Working with them is working closely with your shadow. But why we do that is that it can be dangerous, but we want to practically through them find some things in ourselves that are hidden. It's working with our deep subconscious through the energy of trans-empiric entity, but it's invocation. It's calling to yourself, getting into contact, maybe at astral space, maybe through meditation. Maybe you can get some kind of effects, but very limited ones. You might get feelings, you might hear voices, things like that. Evocation is invocation started to be very popular mostly in the late 19th century, beginnings of the 20th century, through development of parapsychology, psychological methods, Jungian psychology, and so on. It is very appealing to modern mindset because it's more closer to the way how we are thinking like now. People were not invoking very much in medieval times. Those that are invoking might be also shamans, those that are working with some kind of natural religions, people that can get into trance, seers, yeah. But there is a different technique that is called evocation. Evocation is extremely rare now, but was very popular in medieval times because it was not some kind of praying or meditating or trance state. It was actual ritual that was performed at some specific space, usually a temple, altar, a hidden place where the magician was operating, could be inside, outside, during night usually, but can be also during day. And the purpose of it was to forcefully through evocation, chanting, saying specific types of words, forcefully pushing this energy of the spirit to manifest in real space, not in your mind, not in your dreams, but in real space next to you. Some might say that this is not possible, but even to achieve this, you might, of course, be able to achieve slightly trance state, might be very strong hallucination, but working with during this type of operations, you have a lot of natural phenomena going around, poltergeist activity, haunted places, energies, broken things, knives running at you, so fire, you can die practically or get crazy because the visualization is so strong that it's something that uh, practically you invite something in the place to be with you. Why they did that like that? Because in medieval times we knew very little about psychology or psyche. Mindset of those magicians was like that at that time they worked with these energies and they considered them real. Now when we speak about spirits, we work with these dreamy things, connecting with it's very effective invocation, but evocation was practically they wanted to bring them before themselves. They were hidden in a circle, and they were asking them for things, materialistic things. So whole Faustian system is very materialistic. Now when someone wants to do some kind of spell, for example, for to bring lover or to have success in with money, with gaming, with to have protection ritual, to do curse, they invoke. They invoke some kind of energy. They want to pray to Lilith or so on, and they want to magnetize themselves with that energy. It works like that. But for example, Faust was invoking Mephistopheles. Mephistopheles as a extremely powerful energy of Jupiterian planetary origin was able to give him a lot of advice on things that he wanted to know, things that were hidden. He wanted to, the power of this energy was, for example, that he wanted to reconstitute all lost Aristotle works, or he wanted to read books that were of Plato that were lost in history and in time. And so we are speaking really thirst for knowledge. Uh, those that are working, for example, or I don't think that there are many people that work with Mephistopheles now or are actually able to do the thing that are required. But there was a practitioner that was really into it. It was a particularly a doctor of philosophy. I know about that person, and when he was evoking, Mephistopheles. Mephistopheles usually came to him in the first like sighting, like, okay, what do you want? And he was asking questions of philosophical matter. And the energy was able to reply in very communicating form, like very like a very extremely intelligent energy. And that ended the first session. The second session was like the magician came with more questions. He was asking about things or works that are probably lost in the history and so on. And Mephistopheles replied to him. It's a recent story, by the way. It happened just maybe 20 years ago. And it replied to him, okay, but we would be here whole night if I have to answer these questions to you. Go sleep now, and you will dream about the library where you can read all about all of these questions. The person went to sleep, and in this astral dream, the person saw that it's inside the library where there are a lot of books in languages that he even didn't know. It Aramaic, Chaldean, forms of language that even polyglots have difficulties to understand right now, but he was able to read it all. So he was reading and he woke up and it was like, wow, this is really, I'm getting so many insights. So maybe you know this story of Akashic records. So we can say that the energy is able to connect you with a lost knowledge or knowledge around the world. But you have to be quite educated to have something from it. So let's say mathematician is looking for unsolvable problem, or this entity can help him. But you have to understand, you have to be already very advanced in something, so you get these insights. It can be scientist working on something very complex, and then he gets these insights. Yeah. Um, I'm very sorry. I understand you are asking a lot of questions, but that's why I maybe others that are here feel free to communicate with by yourself. But this is going to be more as a lecture than just free communication. I see your questions, but they are not. Some of them are not related to the topic. Yeah. So uh, later on, maybe I will answer. So when when the person woke up, he decided in several days to invoke Mephistopheles for the third time with another questions. And Mephistopheles was there, and he was, oh well, yeah, we have this also. I can answer you, but I would like to ask you for something in return. And that third time, the Mephistopheles proposed a pact. Yeah, so I can help you, but you will have to give me something. In case of Faustian Faustian spirits, it's always your life. Always. At some moment in your time, you will die in a horribly way, like Faust did. Faust signed a contract according to the legend for 24 years because Mephistopheles is coming to him and telling him, I will give you all answers you want for 20 years, 30 years. Yeah, you can do miracles, things like that. Something related to the knowledge. Jupiterian energy is about knowledge, about affecting things around you. I will speak about all of these spirits later on, but the Mephistopheles is not the one that I want to touch now, but I'm just starting with Mephistopheles because he's very known. But after this time ends, you will be mine. So why they do it, it's complex metaphysical question. Probably it's not just physical death. Yeah, you will be your ego, your own being will be terminated. You will be not probably reincarnated or anything like that. Maybe after some time, I don't know, but definitely it's nothing nice expecting you. But the calling for knowledge was so high for Faust that he accepted. And for 24 years, he did a lot of miracles. He was able to do a lot of things. This person really existed. We have historical mentionings of him that he lived in the 16th century. Even Agrippa of Nettesheim, who was very famous, if you have read his occult philosophy, if you haven't, read it first before you go to this. Was writing about him like this is a charlatan. This Faust, he is a famous magician in Germany. He's just speaking things to the masses of people. They think that he can do everything. He's boasting his powers. They never met actually, but they know about each other. Agrippa of Nettesheim also was his compatriot. He was living mostly in Zurich in Switzerland at the time. And Faust was known of these strange legends. Yeah, he was extremely educated, but he was not like this. Although that he was so much fascinated by science, he also wanted to boast. He was saying, "Yes, I am in a pact that will finish in 24 years." But I know so many things. He considered himself the second best magician, second best hydromant. Hydromancy is the able to divine future things from water. So he always was just saying like, I am the second best, because the first was, I think, Auxilius Nummeus, who was the Roman emperor known for this type of things. Or even he was even saying like, I am the second best magician ever lived. Only Simeon the Magus is better than me. If you know that Simeon of Magus was the magician in the Bible that was saying that he can do everything what Jesus did. By the way, Faust was also saying the same things. Like he was saying, okay, Jesus, yeah, He was able to raise people from dead. He was able to turn water from wine. Here is wine. And he provided it to them. Yeah, and people were seeing that this is wine. He was saying that he can do everything what Jesus did, that it's nothing special. So you can imagine to say these type of things in 16th century brought him to very, very, very difficult. Hi, Frater Wuland. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm continuing on this. Yeah, so I'm happy that you have joined. Uh, um, so he he was able to do all of these type of things, and people hated him. So he was pushed away from many cities, from Wolfsburg, I think. He was traveling between the places here and there. In some villages, he was so famous, or smaller towns, he even become like a local teacher for the students. And during his lectures, when he was able to describe the stories of Plato and Aristotle and philosophy in so captivating detail that students were really fascinated. And he was known to say these fascinating stories about the city of Trojan War. And in that moment, like many students, like they were mostly young boys of 14 to 16 years age, not bachelors. Bachelors at the university at that time, when you had 16 to 18, you become a bachelor, but they were younger. And they were asking, "Oh, what a beautiful times," says the legend. "We would like to see this. We would like to speak with Achilles, and we would like to speak to Helen of Troy." Oh, this, and he told them, "No problem, no problem. Next session, I will bring these people to you so you can speak to them." And they was like, "Oh, come on, like, what are you going to do?" Legend, yeah, these legends were so powerful. And the legend says that he really brought these. That he was doing some kind of ritual before them, and he was starting to evoke these spirits. So we are speaking necromantia. The necromancy was called necromantia, which caused a huge fear of the students. And it's even believed that he brought the giant Polyphemus, who hated the Odyssey, yeah, and he brought giant Polyphemus, who was so big in the room. So probably this was some ectoplasmatic entity or something. Oh, thank you very much, Mikkel. You were very nice. This is nice. Thank you. So he brought this Polyphemus, and it was probably some entity or something. And the students were terrified, says the legend. And Polyphemus had this big club, and he told them, "Okay, I see my students are afraid of you, so I command you to go back." And Polyphemus was refusing, says the legend. And Polyphemus was trying to hit them with the club, so he used some kind of protection rites, and practically called to the power of archangels and Jesus and so on. And Polyphemus departed. Yeah. So he was extremely good teacher for a moment, but later on, this the people from the city found out that he also was doing depraved acts of sexuality with his students. So he was thrown away from the city and from the position of the teacher, and was wandering again. We don't know very little about Faust's sexuality. Probably he was living in a very libertine way. We know very little about Faust as a human or as a person, like what he knew. Yeah, we just know that he was living in the 16th century. Sometimes he was supporting Protestants, sometimes he was supporting Roman Catholics who paid better. He was doing astrology, astrological divine calculations for archbishops. So even the clergy liked him, which was quite common at that moment, but always ended in a strange way. And we know that after the 24 years, the story about Faust you can find in my previous video. The long story short, Uh, at the end, last year, he was 60 years old when he died. And uh, there is another legend that he was practically able to, during the last year of his living, he was rich at that moment. He had a student called Wagner, and he was able to living also with many, he called them succubi, but probably these were just prostitutes. He was living with 7 women at once. Yeah. This Wagner's book, and later also they say that he was living in this, they call it the action of sodomy, but it's not sodomy like homosexuality. He was just living in this uh, group of women that were practically, he was rich. Yeah, so he had like English girl, 2 German girls, Swiss girl, France girl. So that, yeah, so you can imagine. Yeah. And so he was preparing himself for death. Similar to Jesus Christ, during the Last Supper, he did the Last Supper with his students, but it started to be strangely better at that day. He told them, "Run away! It's going to. This is my last day with you." So he was living in a hotel. A hotel. It was a pub or a place where he was staying. And at that night, the legend says there was a huge storm, and then they heard crying and sounds. The whole house was practically going to be destroyed. Everyone was afraid, and in the morning they think that, okay, there is a devil coming for him. So in the morning, they entered his room. The room and the wall was painted with blood. His body was thrown from the window and was found maybe 30 meters away, torn to pieces, torn, all bones broken, like his head was missing. They found it like later on in the mud. His teeth were all around the place, so something was like taking the teeth in the life during when he was alive from him. So says the legend. There are some theories that there was a big explosion. So maybe it's not the demon, might say some realist, and he might say, okay, at that moment, Faust was doing some work for the local nobility, where he was probably trying to make transmutation from iron to silver. So some would say that maybe it was a chemical explosion and he was torn to pieces, but we don't know. Anyway, in his books, he is saying that there is 24-year-old period, and then he's going to die, which he died. We have these books that are still remaining about Dr. Johannes Faust. There is a whole cult of Faust going on later on. Like it's extremely popular in 17th, 18th century. Why we know that Faust was a living person and not just some kind of local village legend is that really people met him. He was speaking to Erasmus of Rotterdam, for example. Philip Melanchthon, it's said that he spoke to him. So really, real historical fiction person are describing him in letters that he is like vile creature, preying on the naivete of other people and using their low education to take money from them. But who is writing about him is also Agrippa of Nettesheim, and also, very surprisingly, his very old but still living teacher of Agrippa of Nettesheim, Johannes Tritemius. So Johannes of Tritemius was hated this so-called Faust, even that they never met. Johannes of Tritemius is still considered one of the most knowledgeable polyglot scientists, magicians of the early of the 15th century as such, late 15th and later 16th century. And he even writes in his letters that there is this so-called Faust that is disclosing the secrets of of matter, spheres, and deities or divinity, to the masses, and that is something that shouldn't be said and done, and he will pay his price, which Faust did at the end. So, but I think that it goes a little bit deeper because Faust was popular in his life. Agrippa of Nettesheim wasn't so popular, although Agrippa of Nettesheim wrote this beautiful occult philosophy, 3 books, and there is Pseudo Agrippa's fourth one. It was never popular. Faust had money. He was inviting to court, to nobles, to everything. He was enjoying. He had wives, he has boys, everything what he wanted. Yeah. Of course, he was like some called him charlatan, but he was most very popular, asking for a lot of money for his work. Who was Trithemius? Trithemius was extremely knowledgeable monk. Till this day, now, 500 years later, we are going to speak about magia naturalis et innaturalis. We are not going to speak about Trithemius steganographia. Don't spend time on it. It's boring. So yes, maybe it contains secret information of Trithemius, but it's so cryptic, so boring that not even like magicians with that know deeply Latin and thing, they don't understand it. It's more boring than Agrippa of Nettesheim occult philosophy. So Trithemius wrote a big book, but all the Steganographia, one of the oldest occult treatises on philosophy and so on. Other monks hated him. Yeah, they said, "Oh, he's a black magician. He's making like it's a shame of our order. It's shame of Christianity." So you can imagine like a monk writing this type of stuff. So maybe he was jealous. Was Trithemius jealous? Maybe not. But Agrippa of Nettesheim for sure. He was like that. He was like, "Oh God, this Agrippa of Nettesheim was going from city to city, asking for. He was paying with falsified money. Some say that he was able to do these illusions that people saw gold. In 2 or 3 days, it was not gold anymore. It was some kind of bones or something. By the way, Faust was doing the same thing. So it might come to illusory spells, but never mind this. We can say that if this is really true, these were the highest adepts of magical art in 16th century. Trithemius, Agrippa of Nettesheim, and Johannes Faust. And speaking about Faust and about his workings, I was thinking like he was working on extremely dangerous. He was doing these extremely dangerous operations because he's working with his 7 archdevils that are related to specific planetary energies, are heavily used for materialistic effects. If you work with Mephistopheles, you will get this knowledge, this deep knowledge. Yeah. If you work with other spirits, like we might say Barbiel, yeah, even in his book, Barbiel is it's practically an energy of Saturnus, or the leader or planetary demon of Saturnus, according to his system. Barbiel hates to be evocated. He can't be invocated, and he can be evocated only if you push him very much. And if he's there, he's going to harm you. He's going to kill you. The Barbiel says, if you evoke me and you will do mistake in the evocation, you will do mistake if you have the audacity to evoke me, and your circle will be somehow badly written, or there will be a mistake in it, or mistake might be. Mistakes are common. Even Faust has Latin mistakes in his workings. But if you will doubt that the circle is going to protect you, I will kill you. There are many practitioners that tried working with these energies, and they ended with I have to say, sorry, YouTube, the world is not nice, but yes, they ended with suicide. They ended with deep, or they ended dead. They found them dead. In a way, like maybe not like Faust, but it's believed that many practitioners that were using with it, working with it, ended bad. But if what can Barbiel then do? Barbiel says to you, I am lying. I am not saying truth. I am the energy of Saturn. I don't like humanity at all. I can bring only what Saturn brings: misery, despair, but I can bend time. So if you invoke Barbiel and you are successful in it, according to the system, you can prolong your life. Or because energy of Saturn is related to time. You can shorten someone's time. You can prolong yours time. So there were practitioners that were trying to push Barbiel into the situation that he is going to make them young, or that they will be not aging as much. But he hates to do it. Why he should? He hates humanity. So why he should help you at all? He hates you. No nice invocations. No good friends with demons. Our spirits are helpers. No, he's going to kill you. He hates you because he is a demon, extremely powerful, and probably the energy that is there with Saturn will bring only misery, illnesses, cancer. Just if you do something wrong. So big gain, big loss. I want to speak more about Aciel today. As I said, it will be a very long stream, so you can end it and watch it later. But Aciel is another one of these 7. I want to speak about all 7, but I will not speak about Mephistopheles because I never felt that spirit is right for me. And before I will speak about Aciel, that is considered the energy or the counter sphere of sun. It's a demon of sun, you can say, yeah, owning 2,000 legions of devils and so on. Aciel is in German written with Z, so it's not. It should be translated not at Aciel, but correct pronunciation is Aciel. Germans wrote it with Z. Z is in German as Z. Yeah. Maybe Aciel is Azazel. I wouldn't say that it's Azazel as we know him, as this funny watered down version, so popular with nowadays demon letters. Probably those that work with Azazel now are getting this anime-like thing. It works. Everything in astral space work. If you work with Stolas, many people know Stolas from this anime figure, like this Stolas thing, you know. So they think that he's a kind guy. So if you invoke him in a way that, oh, he's going to be that's going to be an owl that is going to help me with my small alchemy project, because I'm going to make some kind of spaghetticum to have some I don't know, love potion. Yes, you will get a good. You will connect with good egregor of Stolas. But if you will be evoking Stolas as a demonic owl that were considered strixes or strixes in Latin, that energy is vampiric. So it always depends what type of energy you are invoking. We are usually invoking good energies, and I don't say that you are not. Yeah, recently, even my students, some of my students on Patreon, they disagree with me. They say, but they are nice to me. Of course they are nice to you, because you are working with this with this astral egregore, but that's not the original egregore. What is original? Everything is living there, here and then. But yes, we are used to that. If we say, if the human unconscious, we are, even the demons are changing. If we say, yes, we are now working with this type of egregore, whether it's some good stolas, or it's nice Azazel, or it's a teacher of magic, or if it's then yes. If you work now with Lilith, yes, the energy can help you, but it will be not the Lilitum or Lilith or that, that was eating children alive in Sumerian times. Yeah? But that it is also there in astral space. There are these trans-empiric entities can be connected. You can connect also with these energies. What is making these 7 or these older energies more stronger is that the rule of magic, my friends, is that with older energy, with more primordial energy you are working with, the more powerful it is. Yeah. That's also with these atavisms I spoke about in the last time. So you are connecting with the primordial energies of nature. They don't care to be our friends. And in primordial energies of nature, you have polarities. So specifically with these 7 that Faust is working with, they are considered chthonic, dark, underground, primordial energies of contra sun, black sun. Yeah. So if we speak about Aciel, you are going to invoke the shadow of the sun, the shadow of light. You are working really with something deep qliphotic that should be in our space and realm, but also shouldn't be. Yeah. So Rup Karloya is asking a question: how can we make sure? Very good question. It's about working with the correct sigil, Faust would tell you. Because if you want to work with specific energy that is old or primordial, you have to imagine, if you work with specific sigil, and I will now, and I would like to use, for example, sigil that is found on internet, like let's say Lilith, yeah, or this, or search Lilith, put I want to see pictures, and you will find these nice sigils there. Everyone is using them, making tattoos, putting a little bit of blood on it. Yeah, you will work with this nice energy. But Faust is going deeper. He was using something that we don't even, very few people know. He was creating his own sigils. But he was not doing in a way as, for example, let's say, Austin Osman Spare is doing, or how we are using now, that we get into this automatic drawing and we write some kind of sigil that is personal for us, and it's working. Yeah. I want to connect with specific spirit, let's say in astral space. I get into the trance station and trance. I imagine in dream or somewhere between the dreams the energy. I will say, I want to, and then I ask the energy, give me your sigil, because I want to invoke you later on through visualization, this sigil. Sometimes I don't see it, but I will get my automatic drawing and I will draw something. Yeah? This is how we do it now. Perfectly fine, but you are creating something through your own lens. It's your personal sigil. Many practitioners, thank you very much, Vladi, for your kind gift. Thank you very much. So if you connect with it, you are going to connect, like let's say with Lilith or something. You can even ask Lilith for your own personal sigil, and it will be convenient for you, because you are going to connect with this energy, but through your filter of humanity to protect you. Yeah, it will be friendful thing, yeah, but it's not going to be this primordial power. Sigils are relatively new things. They were developed in 15th, 16th century. Before that, you had to practically do ritual offering, yeah, slaughtering animals, taking some kind of release some huge energy. Blood was used many times, yeah, in ancient times. But I'm speaking of medieval times where this. So now our mindset is working mostly on the pictures. Modern culture is like that. You have to work through visualization of some kind of symbol. So Faust was trying to connect with something primordial and powerful, and he understood that there is no actual sigil for Aciel. There is no actual sigil for Mephistopheles. There is no actual sigil for any spirit like this. He wanted to connect with something that would meet his needs. He wanted to speak to. He knew that, for example, Jupiter is knowledgeable energy because it relates to by Jupiter. It's not like the god Jupiter. It's like this energy that knows, that knows the order. And he was given two options during his visions. There was like option to work with this good polar energy and this negative polar energy. The good polar energy, the medieval thought it's angelic. In this case, it was Satkiel, the angelic energy of Jupiter. But that energy would never speak to him because he was not morally pure. Like 99.99% of us, we are not saints. Saints don't need the sigils. They have visions. Hildegard for Bingen praying 15, 16 hours per day. Yes. Ignatius of Loyola, although I think that he was like a little bit crazy, but he was every science, every holy man is crazy in a way. Yes, he was getting visions, but it was told to him. Something told him. This is angelic beings are not going to disclose to me the truth of the godlike design, why we are having this like this, why Sephirotic tree is created in this and these ways, why there is evil in the world, why it is created like this, why are we suffering, why what is these questions, these deep questions asked by someone that was able to think 200, 300, 400 years more like in advance to the normal society. He was extremely intelligent. He was interested in knowledge. So he thought, okay, if I can't reach these higher spheres because I like to drink, I like to enjoy life, he was like, yeah. He thought, so I am going to speak with other side, but to understand it, not through just, not to get this filtered truth. He wanted to connect with something primordial. So to connect with this angel was not possible. For many of us, it's not possible. They will not. Maybe Moses, Jesus, yeah, Mary Magdalene, yeah, but majority of people will not speak with angel. Although if you believe that, yeah, people will work. Oh, I work with Metatron. Okay, believe it more. Yeah, but that's you might be working with the filter of the filter of the filter of the filter of the filter. Yeah, but okay. So he wanted to speak to the something big that is able to give him the answers. There was no sigil for that. He knew that he needs to use some kind of sigil to speak with something. So he developed it. How he developed that sigil? Maybe, unfortunately, there are very little sigils that are shown in this, that are practically found on internet. So we will have to buy the book. So I will show you, for example, the sigil of Bargiel. This whole page is sigil. This is sigil. These are the explanations to the sigil. Every symbol is not something that is created by some just thinking about it and random writing. No, these are Kabbalistic sigils. These are specific numbers. These are alchemical symbols. He wanted to work with it in this way, that he wanted to connect with the symbol of evil, the symbol of knowledge, the symbol of Saturn, the symbol of... he combined the energy of planets even. Something that would be depraved enough or materialistic enough to connect with him. So he was using a lot of planetary energies and creating and putting these symbols. It's like making a cake. Imagine that. So if you look, if you analyze it from the position of someone that knows alchemy, you will realize, and it's not my thinking. This is some analysis that for a symbol of Mephistopheles, there is one moon-like zodiacal symbol, one sun-like, three moon-like. 13 symbols in his sigil are related to the alchemical symbols of Mercury, 1 to Venus, 7 to Mars, 1 to Jupiter, and he is even adding additional symbols, so-called, that are related to the it's not only planets, but it's also to gold, to silver, and to Mercury, and so on. So he's combining energies and creating alchemical energy. So he's making something of his own. And he created in astral a specific sigil. So we can say from psychological perspective, he created Mephistopheles. But he was touching the primordial energies that would be suited for him. So he created the genetical experiment. That's the way how you can reach something primordial, through very deep understanding how symbols are working. Jung would, Gustav Jung was fascinated, by the way, by Faust grimoires, that because they are so deep into it. He was even working with the ratios of these planetary energies in this working. So yes, there is prevalent energy in Mephistopheles sigil. He was testing it, invoking again, getting results until he got perfect mixture of energy, primordial energy, that could be taken from the astral space, that would be speaking to him, having the knowledge, but it was darker, and the request for and the help was not for free, because these energies were practically, you are asking for something, Faust, that we can give you, but it's not your turn in the life. It's not your way in the order of things that you should know these ways, have these powers. Yeah. There was a practitioner also that invoked Mephistopheles recently. I'm speaking 10 years ago, I know this. And when Mephistopheles was shown to him as an energy in the form of an old man, he told him, like, he was asking him a question. And Mephistopheles, they are always like this. They offer you something for free, and then they want to get something back. So, and this is something that he disclosed to me, and I think that he can disclose also. They sell to them, like, when Faust asked him, "Who are you?" Goethe is speaking about that. Mephistopheles, he replied to him, "I am the truth that is always denying myself." So he was speaking practically in paradoxes, but sometimes he was speaking truth, but hidden in half truth. And he when this new magician of New Age invoked Mephistopheles, Mephistopheles told him, "By the way, don't believe in truthfulness of God's design. The design of God, the world and everything, is messed up work. Imagine that this energy will tell you something like that. Like, do you really believe that we are living like in Leibniz's best worlds ever possible? Is this truly the best world? And now you have this truth. Like, is he lying? Is he trying to push you into doubting your true godlike human-like power? Humans are the best in the world, or are we just like a little bit messed up experiment of something that does not care? And he departed. You want to know more? Invoke Mephistopheles. Maybe he will tell you, but not for. So these are the questions that Mephistopheles was asked for. Aciel is different. When I started to work with these type of energies, I decided, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do evocation, actual evocation of the spirit, and I'm going to do it according to the rules, according to the book, because I don't want to be crazy. I don't want to get into harm. So I tried it. Yeah. And I was thinking, like, whom am I going to invoke? Yeah. So and now I am going to give you the techniques that I am going. So this is, I think, the first time that I really want to speak about the process that I was doing, because many people are asking, like, how can I do it? How can I do it? It's very hard, and I am not boasting. I will tell you exactly what you need. Yeah. But first, I will tell you what Aciel is about. So there was this specific sigil, not this Azazel. That was this primordial dark energy of sun. Not to me, also angels or these good energies are not speaking. Maybe they are, but I'm also slightly messed up. So probably I'm not in the best energy to speak with that. I will have to cleanse myself quite a lot. I try to do it, but it's not so easy. Yeah. So, and they don't want to speak to you. They tell you this is the order of things. We are not going to disclose anything. These entities are going to disclose. But I was asking, like, am I really into it? Like, am I really into invoking Mephistopheles, that is considered one of the easier entities, although extremely dangerous to do? What would I do with that knowledge? To be honest, I consider myself a relatively educated person. Yeah, I do have some college degree and things like that, but I am far, far away from a specimen of deep knowledge. Yeah, I do have some understandings of Latin. I do understand few letters, something in Hebrew. I know a little bit about Greek, but I'm far fluent from this. I know very little about physics, mathematics, biology from the modern perspective. Yeah, I have friends that are much more educated, more scientifical mind, with much more bright mind. And imagine you are going to invoke something that has IQ of 3,000. It would consider me an ape. Yeah, maybe Faust was able, because in his time he must have been like an extremely intelligent person that was even thinking at he was agreeing with Copernicus that the world is really like a globe, yeah, or he was thinking there must be other planets than these 7 planets, because at the time still I think Neptune was discovered in 40 years after his death. Yeah, so he was even so that can be seen in these sigils, because he is working even with trans-Saturnian signs, the planets that we later on started in alchemy used for Neptune, for Saturn, for Pluto. Yeah, in that time, Pluton is considered Satan. Yeah, first he wanted to invoke Lucifer in his pure form. He was not successful. He called him Pluton. So then he invoked this Mephistopheles. The first question that he asked him after that, who you are, and Mephistopheles is replying, I am the truth that it always denies yourself. himself, he asked him, okay, so how can I speak to your boss? But not Satkiel, but how can I speak to Lucifer? And he told him, how can you do that? It's not easy to do that, Faust. It's he rarely wants to be evoked in material form because he does not want to go away from his kingdom. So I can do everything what you ask for, and I can. But if you will, I can bring you his divisions. But he was still like pushing forward. He was like, no, I want to have the sigil of Lucifer, and then like Mephistopheles does not want to answer immediately. Like, give me the true sigil, not this one. Yeah, give me the true one. So he gave him something, and he told him there is a way how you can evoke him and so on. But it's I think that he tried only once, and he never then writes in his books whether he succeeded. Probably he succeeded, but he never speaks about it anymore. But in his Magia Naturalis, there is organical sigil to invoke all seven at once. So probably that's what Mephistopheles calls, I can bring you all his cohorts. So he gave him the sigil to invoke. I don't believe in hell as such, but we can say all divisions of Lucifer at once. Can you imagine that you invoke all negative planetary energies at once? Yeah, so that's probably he tried to do. Yeah. So, but at the end, he is always staying with Mephistopheles. But back to the Aciel, I thought myself, I'm not that good. I am not Faust. Yeah, I can clearly see it from his. Although it would be so beautiful to think about myself that I am reincarnation of something like that. That's again another ego trap of so many magicians of current way. Yeah, I was Aleister Crowley. I am Faust. I was Agrippa of Nettesheim. I was Cleopatra. I don't know. Maybe I was. I don't know. Some dolphin. Maybe. Hopefully, yeah, something nice, not insect. Yeah, or maybe I don't know. So, by the way, if you look in these atavisms of yourself, you can find these type of things, but it's also dangerous. So, it was not Mephistopheles for me, and I was looking forward. And but I am quite good in following the procedure. So I was reading several books of his. The main one that I might those of you that are really serious into it might look at the original. Yeah. But first, please let me hide this message. And those of you that would like to read original in internet, it's called dreifache Hollenzwang. Yeah, so it's practically three times. There's another book related to him, and it's like three times calling of hell. Yeah, because this is the book that is another one also important to Magia Naturalis et Innaturalis. But if you are in a situation that that you are not speaking German or all German, you can this good book is quite well. For those of you that are really, I have here, I think, one compatriot from Czech Republic. So if you haven't read that, my friend, I recommend to you Josef Vesely's Sedem pekelných inteligencí. Yeah, that's quite something. Yeah, but unfortunately only for Czech speakers. Yeah, so if you, I decided to go with the methodology that Faust is describing in these books, and this methodology can be used as a general practice also for other evocations. So uh, evocation is this forceful manifestation for the spirit to bring him to you and to press your will on him, so he will obey you in the things that you want. Aciel, as a spirit that is related to the counter sun or black sun, but it's an energy of sun. In many energy, many spirits have this energy of sun. So Sylphe is asking about Egyptian deities. So practically, yes. If you look at it in this way, that Aciel, being a primordial negative energy of sun, is practically in Egyptian pantheon can be compared to Set. Yeah, but these are different egregores. I don't want to compare Aciel to Set, because Aciel is a specific egregore created by Faust from that, and it's a filter, it's unfiltered version of Egyptian deity. So we are speaking about something that is more potent than just with than just to speak with something that is considered an evil god in some pantheon. You are speaking with the raw, chthonic, dark energy of, you are in the source. You are connecting with something that is cosmic. Yeah, so that's why these energies have to be manifested through other sigils used in a way that they can manifest in a way that we can even perceive them. Yeah, you can't invoke dark sun in your room. You would be terminated. So you are pushing him to be formed, morphed into a being that you can perceive through your whole human psyche. So this is quite advanced stuff. I know that for many people here watch the other videos, but you are calling the primordial energy older than our gods, yeah, older than everything that what we ever spoke about. These are the primordial energies of cosmos. Yeah, so because the 7 planets are not only our solar system, they are the keystones from which that are represented by sun, but these older archetypes are just represented in our reality as a planet. So it's quite crazy thing, I know. So I was trying to invoke him in that way as Faust did. He was a genius. He was able to materialize the primordial energy called Aciel, because it has Hebrew meaning of something like from light, yeah, or something like that, into reality in a form of in tauromorphic form. What is tauromorphic? Yeah, tauromorphic is that those of you that are working with spirits, even in your invocation, sometimes see the spirits are taking animalistic forms. They have the head of, in Egyptian gods as well, like Sylphe is proposing. Let's bring this example. Egyptian methodology is quite old, so it's very close to the source. Yeah, but it's still humanized. Yeah, it's anthropomorphic. We can see Bastet with the head of the cat, yeah, which is probably more socialized version of Sekhmet, which was older deity, the lion. Yeah, so we can see a lot of other energies. Ra is the main pantheon. Yeah, so just they take animalistic forms because some planetary energies are in all nature can be represented by some typical archetypes. So animals might have energy of specific planets, would say an alchemist. Yeah? So so what is the animal represented by sun energy? Usually a lion, Taurus, yeah, or a bull. Yeah, so many gods like Moloch and so on. have this bullish energy. We have others. Yeah, we have other animals that are represented by uh, other planets, other spirits that have these planetary energies. But usually, if you see a spirit that is showing himself in a form of Taurus or a lion or so on, you know that you are connecting with something Solarian. It can be demonic, so it can has this darker side of it, that it's burning, taking your energy. Yeah, but it shows itself in a form of Taurus. So Faust was able to manifest this entity in a form of a raging fiery bull, hence tauromorphic. Uh, there is even a picture of uh, of him in my thumbnail. Yeah, you will see. Search for Aciel, and you will see that he is like that. But in his operations, usually this bull is fiery. So you might see him that he's charging at you or he is breathing fire at you. Heat is extreme, might be extreme in the room. Usually, when you work with this type of energies, they are manifesting that the degree is like 50, 60 Celsius. Yeah, you feel like in sauna. Yeah, you are feeling that the water from you is practically evaporating immediately, even if you are inside of the circle. Faust is giving you a warning. If you will invoke any of these spirits without the circle, you will die. So, because they will be not. What is circle? Circle is important here. But I will speak about circle. Why Aciel? Go back to the Aciel. Sorry, sometimes there are so many things that I want to speak to you about. Aciel is Solarian demonic energy. What is solar energy for? For prosperity. Aciel was invoked by spirits, or by magicians, also by Faust, to have wealth, money, gold, like things like that, success. Aciel speaks about himself. I will tell you how he describes himself, because Faust was practically forcing them to give us some kind of explanation who they are, what is their message. So I will briefly write you tell you his description. Yeah, uh, so who he is. So allow me, please, just to tell you. So Faust asks him, like, Aciel, you are the fourth grand prince of hell. Yeah, you have the dominion over the earth, because the sun is the affecting energy of it. So he asks him who he is, and Aciel is responding, once forced to respond because he wants to first kill Faust, is, I, Grand Prince Aciel, rule over all the hidden treasures of the earth. I have the power to open and show all hidden treasures. I appear very horrible, in the shape of a bullock, with big fiery eyes and with great rumbling. However, when one attacks me with mediocre coercions, I appear as a bigger hound and with, as mentioned before, fiery eyes. And what I give is through great coercion. And whoever wants to coerce me, he must scourge me until I get tired. But I have not all treasures under me. I have under me only the missing ones. I am a spirit that is not very fond of people, and I care too much about my planet. Planet means sun. Therefore, it takes my strength away. He does not like sun. You have to invoke him during the night. My planet is called the sun, which is fond of humans. Also, I am a prince of all deceit. I scam the humans masterly with every trick. I ghoul with all my power he who makes pacts with me. After that, I cannot serve anyone right. who, when one wants to do a pact with him in my name, he has also he has also Prince Camille that is helping him. Prince Camille is my servant, serves humans. He receives strength and power from me and in my name in order to serve with the same power as I would. But without me, he can do nothing. Therefore, I must always be with him. When one wants to do a pact with him, his servant, in my name, the person receives as much money as he wants to obtain, which is to be requested from him and from me. But after the pact, there is no termination of it. Afterwards, the soul of the person who entered the pact with me is mine, and I do not let it to be changed for someone else's. And the time is finished immediately when he wants to change me for another one. In summa, I make a very short process with him. So he is practically telling you he does not want to give you anything. He wants to scam you. He wants to trick you into a pact where you will die. There is, and he will give you nothing. But he has the power over all lost riches in the world. So I thought about it like in this way, like, okay, there is, and he must be pushed into it. Because, so imagine that you are speaking with energy that has access to things that are probably lost in banks, hidden treasures. You might think that it's like a fantasy or something. Yeah. So that was the spirit that I wanted to invoke. And it is a huge story. Probably this will be also for another video. First, I started just to touch the subject. So I was like reading these books and just tried to do it in a way like I did not want it to do the invocations or anything, but I wanted to do it by the letter. So you are going to speak to a biggest scammer of them all. I checked my zodiac, yeah, first, whether there is no sun disposition, because this planet, if you are working with a specific spirit, you have to always check what is the main planetary energy of this spirit, and whether your own personal zodiac is not in some negative position. So if I will have sun in opposition to some prevalent planet, probably the spirit will not react to me very strongly. One known magician that I want to keep in anonymity told me, you have to work with Aciel and have chance to invoke him only if the best way is if your sun is in the 10th house during your birth. If you know astrology, search for the 10th house. Mine is not. Sun in the 10th house is practically those people that have it has tendency to accrue money. They are good with money. They tend to be rich, but in a negative way, they tend to be extremely greedy. So probably working with this type of spirit can bring you to extreme greediness. You might be really, it's like a sin. Yeah, you will be working with an energy that will enhance these negative traits in you. Sun is not in the 10th house of mine. My sun is, I can tell you, is in the 9th house. It's very close to the 10th. So it's probably just two degrees from the 10th house, which I found, okay, maybe it's not the optimal thing. I am not that greedy person. I will be not maybe liked by Aciel, but as it is in the 9th, sun in the 9th house is more for a person of some kind of authority, a teacher. So it was not optimal, but although also thank you very much for this. Yeah. So and yeah, thank you very much for Sila 3. So I was Also looking whether there is no some negative traits. So this is what you need to do. First thing when you want to work with this type of, when you want to do major operations, learn astrology. At least like know your zodiac. Without that, your problem. Yeah, you will be working with something that is not going to work well with you. Yeah, so don't invoke spirits. Also, the 72, if you feel that their planetary disposition is in total contrary to you. Yeah, so that was the first thing that I did. I was trying to check where it is. Other thing, I was not yet deciding for the operation, because also at that situation, the sun must be in a good position, does not have to be in opposite, in very strong opposition. I knew that he does not. The day for invocation was of course Sunday, yeah, as it is considered a day of sun, hour of the sun. This was something. This was the first thing that I started to think about. Like, if I am going to do this, should I go with a planetary hour of sun, or should I follow the prescription that Faust was doing? Because Faust is saying that you should invoke him only in specific day, and he's not naming Sunday. He's speaking about Tuesday, and he gives 2 hours. He gives like 11 o'clock, 11 a.m., and then he provides another time, I think 4 p.m., which was strange to me. Why? If we know that there might be an energy of sun during specific zodiacal hour. So I was puzzled. Should I go with the times that the master magician is giving to me, or should I go with my own instinct to use planetary hours? That was the first moment when I decided to go with my instinct. So I didn't use Faust heading, but I will be speaking about this later on. Today I'm going to speak mostly about the preparations. Then I really wanted to do some kind of divinations, whether this is like even a good idea. Yeah, so I felt that Aciel might be an energy that is more connecting with me, because okay, Mephistopheles is too clever for me. He will trick me immediately. Aciel is probably also going to trick me, thought I, but I will find a way how to avoid it. Yeah. Also, during my life, I went through difficult situations in life when I was having very little money. So I had this hunger in myself to be successful. Yeah? Then there was other things in my mind, like, do I really want to go into pact? I will not answer this question yet. Many doubts were going there. Yeah. So other thing was, is it really truth? Because a lot of magical books are just saying you can win, you can have a lot of money, or the magic is more like the mental things, or when we do money spells, they are up to some point. Like Alfred Berthiaud, very known magician of the 20th century, when I was reading his Voodoo Gnostic handbook, is saying that magical spells can be used only for smaller gaming, that you can play luck a little bit. Also, all of the rituals for money that I was doing also for my clients, they were successful, but they were successful up to a limit, not into something big. Yeah, like really like winning lottery. When you read my older books, like not my books, but my videos, I was telling you can't win lottery with this. So I was looking for searches. I was searching for other people that tried, but people that really went through this real evocation. It's few, and they will never tell you. Yeah? So first, I tried to do an experiment, because if the treasures are hidden, I was thinking from modern perspective, and he has the power over hidden things, I wanted to do a smaller ritual about, like, to have some kind of like that the money will just appear from nothing. That you have so many like stories about it, that you found money on on the ground or something, that there is a synchronicity. But there should have been really something like that. I wanted to do it this way, that before I will do the grand evocation, I want to have a hint that I am going right away. I wanted to have money to be shown on my account, small amount, sent by someone just like that, that there is a money there. And I decided to do that. I know it sounds crazy, but I was like, I want to see $1 on my account or somewhere where I have money just to appear there. Maybe from hidden, maybe a glitch in a bank or something, but sent to me not by someone that is sending me money, but really for no reason. I want that. And that will, and so if it works on small scale, why it shouldn't work on a big scale? Yeah. So that was the goal that I wanted to do. I did some tarot divinations. After the zodiac, I was checking tarot. Is this like stupid things? No, there was like audacity, danger, a lot of tarot. So other thing, know your zodiac. Second thing, learn some divination method. Work with, these are preparations for something bigger. Learn tarot cards. If you don't know tarot cards, if you don't know to work with vinculum, or if you are not able to use at least one divination letter, divination method, don't even try. You have to learn the basics. Yeah. Third thing was, of course, you have to be able to know at least some kind of, to have some kind of ability to connect. So able to reach out astral space, first through dreams. You have to be able to meditate. I know there are people, a lot of people that will say that they are having difficulties to meditate. Okay, then you have to have other way of trance that you can at least uphold for a minimum of 2 hours. Yeah, so meditation. If you can't sit calmly with focused gaze on a pen for at least 1 hour, you are not ready. 1 hour is nothing. The ritual can take several hours. So be prepared to stand in a circle for several hours. You have to know the gestures. So it's about standing. There is no chair. You have to be in good physical condition. Can you stand 3-4 hours? Try it. You have to have at least good physical condition, physically, mentally ready. If you have some kind of, and this applies for all operations, but if you have some kind of, I would say, something like addiction. There might be addictions. Magicians are addictions to wisdom. Faust was addicted to wisdom. So many people are addicted to something. I am addicted to something. But you are addicted, if you are addicted to these cheap things, like alcoholism, your will is shit. It will make you unable to focus. You are chemically addicted. You can take alcohol during some rituals. That's fine. But if you have to take bottle, or if you drink beer each day just like because you have to, stop your addiction first. There are a lot of people that were alcoholics and went through it, but with alcohol, and be clean for a year, then start even thinking about it. Yeah, so drugs, yes, Aleister Crowley, people like that were addicted to heroin. Very highly probably you are not Aleister Crowley. Aleister Crowley started heroin addiction because he wanted to get away from heroin addiction, just to try it. He was able to have a magical experience even with addiction, but he was able to stop addiction. And later on, when he was aged, again he started to take heroin. You are not Aleister Crowley. If you think that you are, check your ego. Yeah, it's one of millions. All type of cheap things like gambling. Yes, if you are a professional poker player, if you are something like that, yes, then maybe Aciel will be nice, but it can't be addiction. No addictions. Physically, mentally ready. So that started. You will have to, before you even start doing these type of things, think about the food you intake. Preparations for major evocations or every type of astral dreaming requires you to eat very little meat during that time. Meat is full of, not because it's unhealthy or vegan stuff like that. Meat, especially if it's slaughtered during mass production, contains a lot of astral larvae, and you are going to eat that. So it will affect you negatively. It will create a crack in your energy. When you will be facing this primordial energy, it will use you, because you will be not totally clean. Every major magical working requires at least few days of being clean of meat. There are techniques like do it when you eat fish or so on, but even if I do minor magic rituals for my clients, I don't eat meat for 3 days. So that's why it's sometimes expensive on my website, because I have to really change my diet for that. Yeah, 3 days is minimum for small magic. For this type of operation, you will have to avoid eating meat for at least 3 months in advance, at least. And but I would prefer if you do it for 6 months. Yeah. Find some type of other proteins. Yeah, so there are options like you can eat fish or that type of things, but be very careful what type of fish you eat and things like that. I know I like meat as well. I love burger or things like that. Not before magical operations. Once use your brain. Quick question, quick answer. Yes, of course you can. Colors don't matter as much. So this is the thing that you have to just prepare yourself. Be physically ready. If you are in difficult mental condition, if you are struggling with heavy depression, suicide thoughts, if you are having diagnosed some normal mental illnesses, especially paranoia, schizophrenia, don't do it. It will mess your mind. Even with healthy, like mentally ready people, it's extremely dangerous. If you have this, don't do it. There are other nice techniques how to work with magic and so on. Don't do even Goetia. That's a big issue. So you have to check it if you are unstable in this way. If you want to do it if you haven't been able to read Crow, these are the first things: physically, mentally ready. Magician that does it, that does this magic operation, you have to be relatively educated. If you don't like to read books, find them boring, it's your problem. But you will be not successful. You will learn basics of Latin, learn basics of Hebrew. At least if you don't know to read the Hebrew, invest in Goetic magic. If you don't know at least some beginnings, that's a problem. because you will not understand what you are speaking. If you create a protection sigil and you can't understand the meaning in the sigil, it has no value for you. The spirit will challenge you, will tell you, okay, so the first line of that circle you have, it contains the names of these that I am afraid of. Tell me their names. And if you don't, it will go through your cycle, through your circle. So read, learn what you are describing. It was the situation that happened to me, by the way. So you don't have to speak the language, but you have to have at least some beginnings. You have to understand these type of things. Don't underestimate the details. Do the homework. The things that you have to know as the practicing magician to be successful in evocation is that you have to go through certain mental preparations, whether Aleister Crowley's Liber Magic, Franz Bardon's techniques of being able to meditate, visualize, astral light, working with elements, elemental energies. If these things don't say you nothing, start from my initial videos, prepare at least 1 year of training. So after this, you can start to work with maybe you will be able to travel astrally, you will be able to do good invocations. It takes maybe a year. Yeah. Then you start with the book. Yeah. So for that, you need to work with items. What is magic circle? Faust is saying that I need magic circle because without magic circle, I will die. Yeah, so, or you will die. So magic circle is, from metaphysical perspective, something that is called, it's your inner barrier. Imagine that when you are in a temple, everything that happens outside in the evocation ritual is manifested archetypes of your subconsciousness that becomes real. It's a Wild West. In the center of the circle, it's the constitution of your ego that should be clean. That's your ego. That's you. That your through will manifest it. That's your defense. We use circles in situations where we are facing something that is playing with our mind, that is playing with our illusions, that is playing with our inner fears, that is playing with our some kind of behavioral complexes and so on. They will use all of these tricks on you. So the circle is your safe haven. For easier things, like when you are working on, when you work with let's say lesser banishing ritual of pentagram, you imagine the circle visually. It can work many times for smaller curses, things like that. By the way, banishing ritual of the pentagram, do it for 6 months, 2 times per day, every day. Yeah, so you manifest your energy. Yeah, cleanse your body. So in this situation, you have to have circle, not imagined circle. No demonology, perfect advices of Miss Connolly that we are working without circle. It will kill you. Yeah, so create the circle as it is written. Faust was able to create his own circles. Even in his books, he's having several circles. I am not that good. You are not that good. We don't know it now. Yeah. So use the circle that is being used by him and learn each letter of it. Learn the lessons of it. If there is in the circle, let's say, this is the circle for the general evocation of the spirits, all of these 7 spirits. If you don't know who is Michael, if you don't know who is Saint Aniel, If you don't know who is Saint Raphael, if you don't know what means El, Om, Adonai, make your homework, study, because you will have to know all these names. Why? Because when it will become worse, the situation that you will feel that that you will be practically in a fire around you, you have to remember these. These are some anchors that you can anchor your ego, your internal work there. You're like, oh, it's coming. So these energies, these things are going to help me. Yeah. So you have to know your circle perfectly. Might be different circle. How you create a circle. This is an example of the circle that I took from, because I can't use, I don't have the picture for the circles from the book, but this is taken from I think eBay. Yeah, nicely done. Yeah, but to be honest, if you use this specific circle that you will buy, I don't know, for $100, and you will use it in real evocation, it will kill you, because it's just a picture. You have to work. You have to create your own circle. Circles are made, were made in old time on the ground, and or they were used. They were used on wheel. So the real you can now use high quality paper or pergamene, or you can use goat leather. It's expensive thing. Printing the circle must be done with either with cinnabar, which is an organic stone. It creates this red color. You don't have to use the color here, by the way. It's enough to use cinnabar, or you have to use so-called fluidic egregore, so very specially prepared pen with special form of atrament. If you don't know what fluidic egregore is, find it out on internet how to. But I would recommend to you cinnabar. Other materials are organic. Circles were used with organic blood. Two types of blood were used in the circle: either blood of the pigeon, which represent the clean, the Holy Spirit, or the blood of the goat. Choice is yours. Yeah. So this is the way how you prepare the circle. Once you prepare the circle, it's still just a picture. Learn to draw. Many people will tell you, I can't draw properly. Use some kind of metrics. Learn to draw nicely. You have to read it by yourself, but it should be read also by. It should be readable. Yeah. So take time. Make it. It can take 2-3 days just to write this. Yeah. The circle inside should be big enough for you to stand there also with additional items. So usually the circle should be maybe 3 meters wide. I would prefer if you are having at least 1.5 meter wide place, and that should be the inner circle. So you can gesticulate properly, you can do the signs, you can do things. Yeah. So you can't, your hand should in never ever situation go past the circle. You will lose the hand. Yeah. So you have to be in the circle. Usually the circle contains 3 layers, as you can see here. There are other circles. You might not like this. There are others. I don't like this circle as well. Yeah. So, hey, Benjer. So, once you choose the correct circle from the book, meditate over the circle, think about it, learn each name, what it represents story-wise, so you can tell a small story about each name. And once it's written and in its correct material, and used, once the right material is used, you have to consecrate the circle. Consecrated circle are is used with consecrated water, of course. Good thing is that you don't have to use the consecrated water from a church. Yeah, you can consecrate the water by magnetizing the water by yourself, but you have to do a small ritual of water consecrating. I am consecrating this water by the name of this. It's easy to find it on the internet. So you consecrate the water, and this there is a crop on the water practically, where you are saying like consecration of the circle. First, there are two ways how to consecrate the circle. Before the ritual, you have to have also other item. That's sword. Sword is not only for fun. Sword should be a metal object that is sometimes able to disperse negative astral energies. So when if something gets very bad, the sword or knife can help you to the iron. It creates some kind of sparks if you hit ectoplasmatic energy with a knife. Yes, but in this case probably it will not help you, but at least you can do some signings with the sword. And sword is used when you enter this the technique is like that. You will have a sword or knife, and you are going clockwise around the circle. You are not entering the circle, and you are saying a hymn to the circle against in the book, and you are, I am consecrating this circle in the name of this on the you start from the east, and you start to work like this, and you are touching the outer side of the circle with the knife or with the sword, and also with your left hand you are cropping it with the holy water. The circle is activated, but you still haven't entered it. You have to enter it in a ritualistic way. First, you have to put your, you have to enter the first zone, the first side of the circle. So is this Saint Aniel, Saint Michael. Why? Because as you are entering it in this slowly ritualistic manner, you also start to psychologically recognize the defensive lines. So the first you enter with your right hand. You say the specific prayer in the book. Then you enter with the left hand the second zone. Then you enter the third with both hands. First with right, then with the left hand. You stop there and you say the third prayer. Then you are able to enter the center of the circle. Then you close the circle with a signing of either cross or upper pentagram, again saying, I'm closing this circle. And now you are in your deepest inner sanctum. Now there is only you. There is nothing, because you have consecrated the circle. It's empty of any negative energy. It's only you. What happens outside of the circle is the operation. What happens inside is just you. I think this video is taking almost for 2 hours. So that's the thing that I created first. I did the divination rituals, and I was waiting for I created the circle, but I was not sure whether I'm going to use it or not. And I was still waiting for a sign. I was thinking like, am I going really to do this? Because it's dangerous. So I created a small ritual where I was sitting in this circle, and I said, I'm not invoking, I am invoking just a mirror of this mirror. And I would like to know whether you would even work with me. So I worked with this secondary energy that Aciel is saying, like, he is going to speak through me. He is more kind to speak to humans. Yeah. So I invoked his the lesser spirit, not just invoked, not evoked, invoked. And so I was just I had no sigil. I was using the Aciel sigil for it, but I was just meditating inside of the circle, because I was afraid, also not afraid, but careful about it. And I had the sigil of Aciel also made in veal and I was not using blood. I was using cinnabar to draw it outside of the circle, because Faust is not using the triangle of manifestation. He is using the sigil that should be put maybe 1 meter away from the circle, or 2 meter away from the circle, where the spirit should manifest. My aim was not to him for manifest. I was just asking him to connect, and I was asking for a sign, and it was as follows. I was asking for a thing that I want to have a small amount of money to show somewhere, practically from nothing. And if it very small one, can be symbolic one. And if it's going to show itself in within certain period of time, which was in this way 2 weeks, because I was invoking it during the no of the moon, and I gave it practically 2 weeks, then I will proceed further. Nothing happened during that invocation, but I get this strange feeling of something really watching me. So I waited in the circle, and I said, okay, and now I am giving you permission for to go away. So I did the ritual. I did the prayer for releasing of the spirit. It's again in the book, and then I waited for 30 minutes in the circle. One thing I was also using during the invocation, I decided to use incense. I created a specific incense because incense is making the things more real in the sacred space. As I did not want it to have any fight with the spirits or anything, I thought that at that moment in the invocation, the circle will be enough. As I am not invoking Aciel, only his representatives, so I was using a welcoming incense. It was a combination of 4 incenses. These 4 incenses represents practically the Kabbalistic world. So it was a combination of frankincense, myrrh, storax, and mastix. All of these are natural things. Not I combine them in practically in the combination of 25, each 1 to 1 to 1 to 1. It was quite pleasant smell. And during the invocation, nothing happened. So I did I released the energies. I telling them to freely go away. Nothing happened. I repeated the calling 3 times, to go away, to go away, to go away. Then I waited 30 minutes in the circle. Then I opened the circle with the signing of the cross, and the same way as I was entering in, I was going out. First step was my right leg, my right foot touching the first zone, the inner zone. Left one touching the central zone. The third one was 2 feet on the outskirt of the circle. And I was praying to myself that now I'm going away and I will be not turned to shreds. And I went out of the circle. It was quiet. Then I did the banishing ritual of pentagram. I did it 4 times. And I still felt strange. So I continued with how is it called? In a Roman Catholic rite contains an exorcist ritual that I was using. Why I was using so many Christian symbols? Because these spirits are using Faustian methodology. Yeah, so I was using the ritual of exorcism from John Paul 23rd. I can later on give you this information. That worked. I felt extremely quiet in the working area, and I was waiting. I was giving myself like 2 weeks, and I did not doubt it. That I was thinking I did it according to the process. maybe I will be not heard. Maybe it's really crazy to asking for type of things like I want money to be shown in my uh, in my account. Like, but this was deeper magic than usually I do usually for even for the clients. I have to say usually do the magic for invocation and so on. So this was really like asking for something, and I was checking my account, nothing, of course. Yeah. So then the 2 weeks passed, nothing happened. And I started to think, okay, so this is probably a sign. I was again doing divination methods, like only with tarot, whether I should continue or not. There was quiet, very, it was very quiet. And I was checking my accounts, nothing. But I have to tell you that I do have a small amount of Bitcoin money on my one of my account. There is I own a little bit of Bitcoin because some clients are sending me sometimes the payment in the Bitcoin, so I do have it. And I checked it. Usually I'm not checking that because very few people are paying with Bitcoin. But then I checked the Bitcoin, and there was different, of course, prices fluctuating with Bitcoin. But I am not staking the Bitcoin. Those of you that know that staking of the Bitcoin is something that you get practically that your Bitcoin is going to grow because you are investing into some kind of this network. I'm not staking Bitcoin. I have very little Bitcoin, and it's not being staked there. And there was a different price. The 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 bit I got a transaction of Bitcoin from an address, which is I was not tracking deeply, but I got circa $80 from Bitcoin address where no one was asking for anything. No client, no money transfer, nothing. It was there coming from an address. I checked the address because in the Bitcoin you can see where it comes from. Maybe there are millions there or something like that. No, it was an empty Bitcoin address that served as a transfer to my account, 80. And I realized it afterwards. It came from nowhere. And that was the moment when I told myself, I'm going to do this. And the number 80, just for the because this will have a continuation, hopefully next week, was very important number in that ritual. So thank you very much. I'm really thankful for your time. It took 2 hours. I wish you good time. Faust was usually doing this type of rituals during holidays or Christmas Eve. So please don't do it. And as I was having this was just taking so much time. I was discussing about Faustian magic and so on. In the next session, I'm going to speak about the actual techniques, what I did for the evocation, how it went, and what I learned. Yeah, but I'm going to say it because I think it's a way of saying some kind of like tribute to Faust. He was also hated by Tritemius or Agrippa of Nettesheim for saying these secrets that belong only to the chosen ones. Yeah, he was like there. He was speaking to everyone. So I think that I'm not asking you to do it. I just want to tell you that it's possible to do so many things in this magic, but the question is whether we want to do it. So speak to you next time. Have a good day, and yeah, stay safe.